questions, you can feel free to ask them while I'm doing this Facebook Live, or if I don't see it, I can always answer it later on. You're also always welcome to head to fox8.com. The weather tab, forecast discussion, has all the details which we are about to discuss on there as well. Okay, so if you've stepped outside this morning, you've noticed it's quite chilly. We had pretty scattered to widespread rain showers. Some of the precipitation that was coming down was even those little ice pellets, which we call graupel. Of course, here at the ground, temperatures aren't sub-freezing, so if you were wondering, why are we seeing ice? It's not quite cold enough. It's because those upper levels of the atmosphere are cold enough, and between where that cold air is and the ground, not enough time for it to melt. I actually have a nice little explainer here that I'll pull up for you to show you the explanation of how graupel happens. So, snow forms, of course, in the clouds. Starts to fall through layers that are cold enough that those water droplets become super cooled. So that means temperatures are below 32 degrees. So they freeze onto the snowflakes, the water droplets do. You can see that formation of it right there to the left. And then it results in tiny white little pellets that often melt once they hit the ground, but they look a little bit like hail, but they're crushable. So it's kind of like, crushed ice that you get from a 7-Eleven. That's a good explanation of it. They were pelting you in the face this morning, probably you as well, waking up to some of them on your cars, maybe even. Now the temperatures are warming up a little bit. I use that term relatively. It's still pretty chilly out there. Likely to just be rain showers. But I wouldn't be shocked to see some more of it tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is actually, in some places, going to be even cooler, and we have some cold weather alerts to let you know about as well. Here's a look at our 24-hour rain estimates. Some neighborhoods have picked up about 2 inches. Keep in mind that probably accounts for the graupel that was coming down, so that might be a little bit inflated. A lot of the heavy rain has, again, hugged the shoreline and been in that primary snowbelt area. Another thing you might have noticed, a rumble of thunder or two. We've even got a new lightning strike there southwest of the city, probably near, I would say probably Berea or Parma. Let's zoom in a little bit. Strongsville, right between them. Yeah, right on, Berea. So some pockets of heavy rain are still possible. Thankfully, our winds aren't quite as breezy today, and that kind of makes a big difference when it comes to visibility. So the rain's coming down, but hopefully it won't be so tough to see. Even without the rain, I will say it feels colder than it is, and part of the reason for that is the overcast skies and, of course, the cold rain that is coming down. So if you're heading out for your lunch hour and you live in Aurora, if you live in downtown Cleveland, if you live up towards Hamden, or even stretching towards Willard and Penfield, you could run into some rain. The reason for all of this is we had that cold front sweep through. Now what we're dealing with are those backside winds where we get that northwesterly flow, that counterclockwise rotation, and that allows for those lake-enhanced rain showers. We're going to deal with this for another, I would say, 24 to 36 hours, and then we're finally dry. It's going to be cold between now and then, though, too. So we'll look at temperatures currently, mid-40s to upper 40s. This is about as good as it's going to get. A few of you may be able to squeeze in a 50 today, depending on if you see that sunshine peek through those heavy clouds. And then walking through the hour by hour, still probably going to need the rain gear for the ride home from work today, the ride to work tomorrow, and tomorrow could even potentially be colder, especially in our western communities where the skies will be a bit clearer. And then looking at Wednesday afternoon, right around 50, plan on skies drying out at that point. Now the other thing, Thursday morning, even though we're going to start to see things dry out and clear out, because the cloud cover won't be as thick, it's going to allow for radiational cooling, and temperatures are likely to be even colder on Thursday morning. The good news here, though, that sunshine will stick around and peek its head back out. And by the afternoon, if I back this up here for you, we're going to rebound back to about 60 degrees. So I mentioned cold weather alerts. Here they are. Our western communities, Seneca, Sandusky, and Ottawa County, have a freeze warning from 2 to 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning. That means temperatures inland from the lake could get as cold as 30 degrees. And this is more so a concern for vegetation when it comes to your plants outside or crops. The other thing is that with the graupel coming down, even though most of it is melting away rather quickly, if it starts to pile up a bit, especially on your back decks or your porches, watch for those slick conditions. So the breakdown of today, scattered showers, we've got some breaks in there, that's for sure, but the coverage is going to be kind of off and on for the next 24 hours. Winds not as gusty today, but they will pick up overnight tonight. I mentioned this earlier, we even talked about it on air, but if you have those big blow-up decorations for Halloween, if you saw someone in Bay Village just went rolling down the street, it would be a good time to now deflate them just for a day or so until those winds start to die down. You don't want it to end up in your neighbor's yard. The other thing, we've got Guardians games Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. We've got first pitch at 5 o'clock just after on Thursday. Going to be a great evening for baseball. Temperatures will be on the cool side, so even though our afternoon highs are going to be climbing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, by the time first pitch happens, which is in the evening, we'll already be on the fall when it comes to temperatures. So especially Friday, I would say, bundle up. It's going to be pretty chilly. It doesn't start until after sundown, but you don't need to worry about dragging the rain gear around with you. And then as for the 8-day forecast, after tomorrow, talk about improvements. It's looking gorgeous as we head into the weekend, upper 60s to 70 as the Browns are back here at home for their game. And then we stay warm Monday and Tuesday of next week. I will say longer range outlooks show that the wrap up of October, we get another shot of cool air. So soak in those 70s while we've got them. Haven't seen any questions, but if you have them, go ahead, drop them in the comments. And I'm also going to be back on air here in about a half hour, so you can tune in to Fox 8 News at noon. I hope you guys stay warm, stay dry, and I'll talk to you later.